Why, hello there. Welcome to another edition of Speed Metal Pickups. So today we have a ton of CGC slabs that came in, like a lot, like over 50. It's pretty nuts. Before we get into that, I was going to do a video on this, but there just wasn't anything interesting about it other than there was a lot of cool comics. So as you can see right here, this is going to be in this Monday's auction. So if you want this stuff, get on it. A bunch of old Amazing Spider-Man, old Star Wars, and the first appearance of Doctor Strange. So even though it's the Ben McSpadden Scribble edition, he strikes again. Little Billy McSpadden. His name changes weekly. All right, so yeah, a huge bunch of comics. But before we get into that, I got something cool. My first graded video game. This took 5 or 6 months at CGC. It did get a 9.8. I don't really know how that works because the plastic, is a little bit frayed or whatever. It's not broken, and I did have to get a sticker off of it, so there's a little bit of that, but it did get a 9.8, and currently it's the only one. So part of me wants to hold on to it, and I probably will for a while, but everything's for sale. So yeah, video games, cool. So we're gonna get started with this. We'll get into it as we go, I guess, but there's some interesting things going on here. So I'm just gonna go with the first one. So here's how inconsistent CGC grading is. So I sent in 50 books altogether, 2 batches of 25 in the same box. They arrive, they grade one of them, and it goes off and gets shipped. And the other one didn't even enter into grading at that point. It just said received. So, and they're the exact same type of books, the same era, pressed the same way with the same care in the exact same way. Nothing with spine ticks, nothing that was a 9.6. Like, a lot of the stuff was lower value stuff, like Tom and Jerry books that you're going to see. I sent them in. So one of those, the one that came quick, 6 out of 25. Abysmal. I think the worst I've ever done is 2 out of 25, and that was the one where I didn't even repress anything. So 6 out of 25. I haven't got the next one back yet, but it just got shipped so I could see my grades. The same one from the same box, the other 25, 25, 6 out of 25. This one, 19 out of 25. 19. That's my highest batting average yet. And the guy included grader notes on the ones that didn't hit. So I can actually look and be like, oh, okay. Because man, the pre-screen game is pretty stupid lately. So that was a nice little win. So anyways, without too much complaining, there is another thing I'm going to complain about later. You'll see when we get there. Has to do with signature books. But let's get into some books so that we don't lose everybody. All right, so here we got Punisher War Journal 1 in a 9.8. This one's pretty sweet, actually. I might put this one up. G.I. Joe number 100, the return of Cobra Commander in his mask. I don't know why they have never made an action figure of that. People say it has to do with like KKK Klan stuff. I'm like, that's so dumb. I want hooded Cobra Commander. It's cooler. So we got another copy of this. So I think I just sold my other copy for $600 US. So if he actually pays, we'll see. eBay is wonderful. And yeah, so there's another one of those. Really rare. I think it'll be the only other one up there. Once again, this is one of the coolest Wolverine covers. I don't care what anyone says. John Byrne cover, and they're extremely rare. Like, they're just not as common as 17 and 27 and all those ones. So, and 17 and 27 go for like $1,000. So, okay, now we got something pretty cool. We got a huge whack of Dragon Ball comics. All 9.8s. So, Dragon Ball number 7. It's not the first cover of Piccolo, but there's a whole Piccolo cover right there. And then here we got one with the gang is all there. Yamcha, we got a bloodied Vegeta. So this is version 2, number 2. That one was version 1. So I guess it's like the first arc, maybe. It's not even the first arc. I don't know why they split it up like that. It's kind of dumb, but because obviously they're still fighting the Saiyans at that point. So number 3, pretty wicked Goku cover. Getting his Kamehameha wave ready. And then we got, I guess this is Goku riding a dinosaur. Woo! And now we had Gohan riding a dinosaur. Woo! And now we have Gohan riding Goku. Woo! And now we got Goku riding a motorcycle. Woo! And that's it for the Dragon Ball. So now we got some random, pretty much I just graded these because they have cool covers and they're worth about 150 US, I saw. So Predator Cold War number 4. Just a cool cover. Yeah, so I'm going to have some really random stuff like the only ones on eBay. I don't know about this one, but Magic the Gathering, Shadow Mage. I was kind of surprised that, I don't know, this just doesn't exist really. Aquaman number 1 from 1986. Craig Hamilton cover. I don't know who that is, but it's a pretty cool cover. Like I'm saying, I got some weird books here. Dilton's Strange Science 1, Canadian price variant. Dilton. So I've had this before. Now I have it again. Judge Dredd number 1 from DC. Pretty wicked. Wicked. And then here we got Amazing Spider-Man 323 Todd McFarlane cover with Captain America. Pretty sweet. So here is, remember I said the batch that I did not repress? Pretty interesting. I didn't repress any of these, and I said in 25, 2 of 25, and then this was the box they forgot to give me last time, and I was panicking. But we did get the X-Men 141. So literally, they said this wasn't a 9.8. I didn't do anything with it, and I sent it back in, and now it's a 9.8. So it's not going to always work, but there you go. I did have one of those last month, so there's another one. And then we got Icon number 1. First appearance of Icon. And this is the rarer collector's edition, because the other one I don't think is worth grading. Okay, so I'm going to get right into a very important warning for anyone submitting to CGC, because this is by far the stupidest thing that I've done there. And it's kind of on them, but it's kind of on me too. So I sent in 13 books with signatures that I wanted to get JSA verified. They were all 9.8s, in my opinion. And some of the books weren't really worth it in a 9.8, so I did a 9.8 pre-screen. I've done this before, but I never did. I think I did a 9.0 pre-screen. I was like, let's try a 9.8 pre-screen. So, out of those 13, you know, I'm pretty good. I just told you I got 19 out of 25. I know what a 9.8 looks like. I'm not going to send in anything that is like spine ticks for 9.8. It's just a waste of my time and money. So, 13 I sent in. Guess how many hit? 1. This was the only book. Stuff of Nightmares 1, signed by R.L. Stine from Goosebumps. Kind of cool, sure, why not? The other ones didn't hit. But guess what? They get JSA verified first. So, $25 a book, no matter what, it goes to pre-screen, all those denied. I paid $240 to get this one book graded. Ridiculous. When you do that on the website, there's no disclaimer that like, hey, we're gonna JSA these no matter what, even if they don't hit your grade. And I guess it wouldn't be able to do the other way around, you know, check it for 9.8, then go to JSA. I guess they just can't do that. So anyways, be very careful with pre-screens and JSA verification. They didn't even give me a piece of paper. Nothing. I just paid $25 for them to look at these books and tell me they're not 9.8s when I could probably put them in the same package, send them back, and then watch me get 12 out of 12. So, pretty dumb. I will say customer service was nice and gave me $120 worth of credit, so 50% back in credit. So, you know, it's not the end of my business or nothing, but pretty damn stupid. All right, so let's go from a massive W to or a massive L to a massive W. That might even turn into a bigger W. So I'm a huge G.I. Joe fan, and I wanted this, the first Storm Shadow and the Silent issue, definitely the most expensive G.I. Joe book. The only one more expensive than this would be the Canadian price variant, but this is the newsstand. So I bought this in a 9.0 off eBay. It was freshly graded, and I looked at the grader's notes and it said spine ticks. There's no spine ticks. There's not one. So I just gave this a quick press and I sent it in. 9.6. I think I'm going to try for the 9.8 on this, because a 9.8 is 5,000 US on this. Ridiculous. I think this is like 800 or 500 or 600. I don't know. I think I paid like $200 all in for it. So pretty awesome. I don't really know if I want to sell that. You know, everything's for sale eventually, but I'm going to retry on these. So these ones are actually the ones that were not 9.8 pre-screens, but I did get 9.8 of Carnage in a newsstand. So this is the first time I've had this in this high grade, and it's a newsstand. So remember when these were selling for $1,400 in the middle of the pandemic? All right, we got 2 copies of this. First appearance of the Phoenix in a 9.0. And in a 9.2. And I get this next book a lot, and it's kind of weird because, like, literally I take it to the auction house, it gets like 20 bucks. And then I'm like, okay, that's enough. So it's not quite a 9.8, but it was a 9.4, and it's a first print. So yeah, pretty awesome. There's not a lot you can do with those books. You can't really flatten them out. So this was, they said this had restoration originally and didn't grade it. There's no restoration on this, as you can see. No resto. Why would there be resto? I checked it. Double checked, triple checked. Star Wars 9.0. This next one, I don't really agree with the grade. It's a damn nice 9.0. I don't know. There's a bit of a bigger tick at the bottom staple, but I think it's a 9.4. But what are you going to do? Still an awesome cover to have up on the wall. And then we got a Fantasy Quarterly Elf Quest. I think this is higher than a 9.2. I don't really remember. I'd have to look at the grader's notes on this one, but a 9.8 in this is $2,000. I had one before I sold it. So now we're back to the pre-screens. So we got World War Hulk #1. Pretty awesome cover. We got Batman Long Halloween #9. Another awesome cover. Tim Sale. And we got Batman Long Halloween #10. Catwoman's on that one. Got another copy of The Killing Joke first print. And we got one of the most boring things to get in a 9.8 because they're so easy. Venom in a 9.8. Venom 1. And then another one that's very boring in a 9.8, but I actually haven't had this in a 9.8, so I guess it's not too bad. Spider-Man 2099 #1. So pretty neat, I guess. All right, now we're out of the 9.8 pre-screen territory, and we're into, so this is 25 vintage books. This actually didn't take as long as I thought it would, but yeah, so there's some bigger stuff in here, as you're gonna see. So we're gonna start with the Spider-Mans, the early ones. So we got Amazing Spider-Man #7 in a 4.5, the second appearance of the Vulture. We got Amazing Spider-Man #8. I just did this as a tester to see how hard they hit on the stains, because other than that it was pretty nice. But yeah, first appearance of the Living Brain, 3.5. Amazing Spider-Man #12, third appearance of Dr. Octopus, in a 5.5. So this one's kind of cool. The first appearance, or the first cameo of Mary Jane, and the first appearance of Professor Smythe and the Spider Slayer in a 6.5. Not a bad grade. Here we got something damn cool to me. Daredevil #2. It's the second appearance of Daredevil and Electro. Neat. Here's the lowest grade thing, but still cool. Incredible Hulk #3. I don't know if this would be the third appearance of the Incredible Hulk, Not really sure. First appearance of the Ringmaster. So, and that one, yeah, is rough. It deserved that grade. This one's a little bit nicer, but still, I don't know. I think that's nicer than a 3. I don't know what they're talking about with that, but whatever. Incredible Hulk number 6. First appearance of the Teen Brigade and the Metal Master. I've been known to be a bit of a metal master myself. Here is a 7.0. I think this is the highest graded one. Fantastic Four number 26. Thing versus Hulk conclusion and Avengers. Yeah, it's just a big ass fight on a skyscraper. Neat. Now we got Avengers number 3. So close to 1 and 4. First Hulk and Submariner team up and some other cameos. Yeah. Pretty dang neat. Oh no, this was the highest graded one. Yeah, sorry. Avengers number 5. Hulk and Lava Man appearance. So I think this should be a way bigger book. It didn't, I think it's like worth the least of these, which is kind of stupid to me, but Strange Tales 126, the first Dormammu. If he appears in the MCU, it's going to be a huge book all of a sudden, but Dormammu's a pretty huge character. He's right on the cover too. And Cleo, who I don't even know who that is. But, hey, what are you going to do? Okay, here we got, this is kind of cool actually, the second appearance of Iron Man. Tales of Suspense number 40 in the 3.0. All right, here we got the first Black Widow in a 5.0. I really don't give a crap about Black Widow or Hawkeye, and I never really have, but hey, here they are. First Hawkeye in a 5.5. All right, now we're into my beloved X-Men. We got some good titles here. Number 5 in a 3.5. Third appearance of Magneto. Second of a bunch of other nerds. X-Men number 5. First meeting of the X-Men and the Avengers in a 5.0. X-Men number 9. Sorry, I don't know why I said that. All right, here we got a cool one. The first appearance of the Sentinels. I think that's a lot nicer than a 5. Like, to me, a 5 needs, like, a big crease. Oh, I guess in the corner. Sure, it's a 5.5. So, X-Men 14. First appearance of the Sentinels. So here we have something that was, I think they graded this as 6.0 originally. I'm like, that's not a 6. So, first Havoc. 8.0. All right, now we're getting into some DC stuff for all you DC guys. So we got the first Ra's al Ghul in a 7.0. One of the coolest covers. We got some more wicked covers. We got Batman 169. Second Silver Age Penguin. Just an awesome cover. I think these two go very well together, the pink and the purple. So the first Silver Age Riddler in a 6.5. And then we got the first, I guess it's like Silver Age origin of Aquaman. I guess it's not his Silver Age appearance. I don't know, whatever. There you go. Aqualad. Yeah, Aquaman. Sure. And now we actually do have Aqualad. So this is the first appearance of the Teen Titans. Brave and the Bold 54 in a 5.5. And now we got two things that literally you're not going to find anywhere. Literally. Okay, White Rider number 6, 1958 in a 7.0. LB Cole cover. I don't even know what these go for, like 700 maybe? But they ain't cheap, especially in that condition. Oh, this one's nuts. This is a book from 1958 that hit an 8.0. Indian Warriors NN. It actually is like Indian Warriors number 6 though, I think. It's not NN, but whatever. Yeah, another LB Cole cover. So, Indian Warriors. So, yeah, that was a pretty crazy submission. I think there's been some interest in some of these books already. I'll have to reach out if we already talked about that stuff. But yeah, so they'll be up on eBay. If you want them, message me on Instagram. I might try and be more active with these on Instagram because there's a lot of books coming in. And yeah, so once again, Monday, every Monday, have stuff in the auction house. And yeah, should be a damn good one. There's a lot more cool stuff coming in. I think I got a pretty good collection coming in next week, hopefully. But anyways, I've been... Oh, and we also did the giveaway finally. So congrats to our 2 winners there. And yeah, so it took me a while to get to it, but I did do it. I'm not going to leave y'all hanging. It's a little bit frustrating getting all the names in that stupid generator. But hey, what are you going to do? Anyways, I appreciate y'all. Thanks for stopping by once again at Speed Metal Comics. And have a wonderful rest of your day.